getting ready for next phase of the job now, which is welding the coppers together. What we're going to do is we're going to clamp these together using some mole grips with just a tiny little gap in the middle there, and then we'll tack weld it together, and then we will do two welds down that side and then down the other side towards me, and then that will hopefully give us a full penetrating joint. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, lack of skill on my part mainly, then I'll just go and put another bead down the back. As this steel is hot rolled, it's got a oxidized coating on it, so I'm just going to go to the bench grinder behind me first and just use the polishing side of it to trim off the oxidized material on both sides to allow it to weld easier. As you can see, change my PPE, see, welder's mask, auto darkening if you can get it, really useful for seeing where you are, where you're starting, and then it instantly darkens as the flash starts. And also gauntlets, not just to protect from the heat and the sparks, but also from the UV radiation, which will give you sunburn like you wouldn't believe. So first I'm going to put on 3 tack welds to help hold this together. Here, here, and here. Now I can remove the clamps. See, that's slightly distorted there, so I'm just going to go in and reshape that a little bit so that there's not this gap on the corner there. Set myself up a nice easy weld to do. I'm just coming from this middle point down to the next tack, and I'll stop and see how I'm doing. That's not bad on the front. See, on the back though, it hasn't gone quite through as much as I would have liked, so I'll probably end up doing a tack weld up the back in there or welding up the back as well. Right, next one, cleaning up the gunk off the weld is very important, otherwise you end up with inclusions in your weld and gunk and horrible stuff. So now we've got the tricky bit on the end, particularly where there's this little gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my welder down a bit. I'm going to put a little splob of weld on the end, and that will help act as a heat sink and stop it melting and blowing holes through. But as you can see, it's quite delicate operation, and there's kind of very small margin of error between not getting a penetration on your weld and actually getting a complete blow through. There you can see, not the prettiest welds in the world, but not the worst either. Now, so you can see I've got some penetrations, you can see in there, all the way through. Not enough for me to be really happy with. So I'm going to go and put a bit more weld on the back now. When I polish that down, that will be nice and smooth and very solid. Just what we need for the SCA.